but we'll get you to Fremont as quick as possible. So, in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, the mob comes to Vegas. If I say your city, raise your hands. I want to know if you're a mobster. New York. She's already brave in this. You're from New York? Cool. Chicago, Capone's group. Cleveland, Ohio. Detroit, Michigan. Kansas City, my favorite, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because they controlled the alcohol. So coming up on the right is a mob restaurant. We have 2 left in Las Vegas. But before we get there, I want you to look ahead of the bus, straight ahead and a little bit to the left. Behind Bally's is the employment center for Caesars Entertainment. Behind that is a white tent that says BattleBots. That white tent is a production studio where we filmed 3 TV shows. BattleBots, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen. Got it? What's the restaurant missing in the front on your right? Not all at one time. What's it missing? Windows. Because the mob didn't want to be shot at from the outside. The other restaurant that is windowless is in the movie Casino, and it is called the Golden Steer Steakhouse. But if the FBI walked in, they'd scurry like rats into the basement and into the tunnels that exist under the strip tonight. So I forgot to give you the rules. Stay seated, no smoking or vaping, please. So, if you look straight ahead of the bus, that is the Palms Hotel Casino with the video screen on it. It is closed tonight because it got purchased this last year for $650 million. They're putting $200 million into it, and it will open in a couple of months. The Palms. The Dome is the empathy suite. I hope you never stay there, because this is a 24/7 city. All you have to do is stay up all day and night long, and you just saved yourself $100,000 plus tax plus resort fee. That is the most expensive room in Las Vegas, and it is booked when the Palms Hotel Casino is open 365 nights of the year. There's a waiting list for that room. Isn't that wild? So we're going to make a left eventually on Las Vegas Boulevard on the Strip. So once we hit the Strip, I'm going to keep most of the tour on the right side. Since we go back, we go to the left and we come back this way. When we only go down one section of the Strip, you'll be looking left and right. But Bally's on your left is getting a name change. Caesars Entertainment owns it. They also own, and Bally is leasing it from Caesars. They just bought the Tropicana, so they're moving to your left in a southerly direction on the Strip. It was originally called MGM, but in a couple of months, they're going to redo the casino. It will be called the Horseshoe. So if you're staying at Bally's, take everything that says Bally's Vegas, because it's going to be changed. Something happened in Vegas last week. It wasn't good. If you look at this restaurant on the right on the corner, that's Giada de Laurentiis' restaurant, which is expensive to begin with. But restaurants on the Strip that have windows where you sit at the window, they started to charge. So if you want to go to Giada de Laurentiis' restaurant on the right and you want to have the best table for the view of the Strip, you give them, when you make the reservation, you give them your credit card, and before the minute that you give them the credit card, they'll say, we're going to charge you $50 a person to sit at that table. Before you even go. Non-refundable. And there's one restaurant that charges $100 a seat. So you have a party of 4, you have to spend $400 to sit and look out over the Strip. That is absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to make a left turn here eventually. Now, most of you can't see yet the Eiffel Tower. It's half size, and for only one reason: too close to the airport. So as we make the left, the Bellagio Fountains, tomorrow Sunday, right? Super Bowl Sunday. Bellagio fountains start on weekends at 12 noon. Every 30 minutes, a different show until 8 p.m., then every 15 minutes until midnight. There are 2 other free things you need to check out in Bellagio. The Observatory Botanical Garden is all in bloom for the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, and the world's largest fountain of chocolates inside Bellagio. So as we make the left turn, I want you to look at Bellagio and then look at the 2 towers of the Cosmo. What's unique about the Cosmo? It is the only hotel casino in Vegas where the majority of rooms, standard room, has a what? A balcony. So, the next time you come to Vegas, you want a balcony that won't cost an arm and a leg for a suite, you stay at the Cosmo. Now look at the front tower of the Cosmo. You see the lady's blinking eyes? You see that top floor? You see the chandelier under the A and the N? That is the Reserve Casino. That is the high roller of high roller casinos. There are 2 rules to go to the Reserve. You must deposit each day and gamble each day a minimum of $1 million. That is the high roller casino of Las Vegas. Other casinos like the Encore and Resorts World, they have casinos on the top floors and you only have to gamble $100,000 in it. Craziness. Now, look behind the Cosmo. You see that rounded building? That's called Vidara, V-D-A-R-A. That is where our visiting NFL and NHL hockey teams stay. Because it's a 5-star, smoke-free, casino-less, again, 5-star hotel. V-D-A-R-A. Now, you can't see it from the top or nor the bottom of the bus. But behind the Cosmo is a free monorail. I'll show you the free tracks coming up after we go past Cosmopolitan. So the front of Bellagio where they filmed the movie Ocean's 13, you might remember it. Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Julia Roberts. So we are having unseasonably warm weather this week. You timed your trip perfect because Tuesday we're going to go back down into the 50s Fahrenheit. And trust me, the way some of the people on the top of the bus are dressed, even if you're from Saskatchewan, Canada, most people go downstairs. So you have a good night. Coming up on the right, it says Beauty and Essex. You're going to see a couple of little palm trees. That is the pool area for the Cosmo, and we do what? We ice it over from Thanksgiving through New Year's so you can ice skate on the Strip. Pretty cool. And you don't have to bring your ice skates. The rental's only $20. So 4 years ago, Vegas started to change. Before the pandemic, before the quarantine, MGM sold MGM Grand, they sold Bellagio, they sold Mandalay Bay to get cash to build other hotel casinos in Asia. They then, last year, sold Aria and Vidara. To who? The Cosmo. The Cosmo is owned by a company, real estate investment trust out of New York City, called Blackstone. And they just cut a new deal 2 weeks ago. For over $1 billion, MGM is running the casino of the Cosmo. So basically, if you're staying at Aria, Vidara, Bellagio, MGM Grand, and Mandalay Bay, MGM rents them. Interesting. And then we've had 3 Native American tribes in the last 8 months buy some casinos in Vegas. Like the Palms I talked about. That's the San Manuel tribe from San Bernardino, California. You might be from Florida. You're familiar with the Hard Rock there? The Seminoles? They just bought the Mirage last week for $1 billion. And I might be able to show you their airplane. I know I have a picture of it on my phone. And then you have Mohegan Sun from Connecticut. They're running the Virgin Hotel Casino, 5 blocks to your left. So the #1 indoor bar is through the doors to your right. It's a 3-story chandelier. So look at this area to the right. The Profile Vidara, free monorail track, taking you to Park MGM in New York, New York, and the beautiful this movie, Morgan Freeman, Michael Douglas, Las Vegas. Every one of these expensive stores on your right will serve you a cocktail. All you have to do is ask. Their idea is to get you a little buzz. You might open up your wallet. Take a look up here on the right. The white neon is the lobby for the Waldorf Astoria. And the family that started Panda Express bought it. Above in the condos, below 5-star hotel. Can you slow down, Carlos? I can't slow down. Carlos? Carlos! Slow down, please. Thank you, buddy. So this is the old Monte Carlo on the right. It's 2 hotels. Park MGM and the 5-star Nomad. What's unique about it is this. It is the only hotel and casino that is totally smoke-free. We only have one. This is the park to your right. You're going to see a sign that says Dolby Live Park Theater. Sure, Bruno Mars, Ricky Martin, Stevie Wonder, Queen Without a Lever, Aerosmith, Lady Gaga, Pink, Janet Jackson, Jonas Brothers. There. In the back is a Hello Kitty Cafe at T-Mobile Arena, where last Saturday the NHL All-Star Game is. That's where the biggest Golden Knights game. We have our UFC Octagon fights. Big Apple roller coaster, Brooklyn Bridge. If it's your birthday, they don't check ID. Tell them it's your birthday at Hershey's. They take your picture for free and put your picture on the side. I want you to take a close look at the Statue of Liberty. Notice how she is pieced together, not out of copper, standing 1/3 size of Lady Liberty, New York. You are looking at a sculpture made out of styrofoam, industrial styrofoam. 4,000-room castle, catering to families. This and Circus, least expensive place to stay on the Strip. But free monorail to Mandalay Bay, and it paid the largest jackpot 17 years ago. $39.7 million jackpot. Megabucks. Notice the pyramid. 1/3 the size of the smallest pyramid in Egypt. The right is the brightest light on the visitors. It's the prize of LASIK surgery, Raiders patch, a nose job, and a tummy tuck. Delano, 18-karat gold dusted. 18s like Mandalay Bay. All the rooms are suites. Carlos Santana performs at House of Blues. Mandalay Bay is 2 hotels. As far as the vertical lines go, is Mandalay Bay. But look at the top 2 floors. That's the 4 Seasons 5-star. See the big chandeliers? And then the 6 open bay area. See the space heaters? That's an expensive place to go. Now this is where Mandalay Bay is where Michael Jackson used to stay when he had children. It's a 30,000 square foot suite. I'm going to show you the windows of it as we go a little bit farther straight ahead. It'll be back up on the top, back to your right. That is why his Cirque du Soleil show, it's amazing. Michael Jackson 1 is here. They have the Shark Reef Aquarium. Happy pre-Valentine's Day. So on Valentine's Day, the Shark Reef Aquarium has a special deal. It is $1,000 per couple to get scuba certified and go swimming with the sharks. Fortunately, my wife has never given me that Valentine. Now, it also has the largest pool. Now, as Carlos goes straight, I want you to look to the right one more time. You're going to see the Raider football stadium, better known as Allegiant Stadium, where last Sunday we had the NFL Pro Bowl. Got it? So something's coming up very shortly. In 2 months, April, the NFL football draft will be in Las Vegas. The rooms for that week are already basically sold out. So if the average price of a room tonight on the Strip is $100, for the NFL draft, it will be $700. And in 2024, when the Super Bowl is here, rooms will be basically $1,000. And I'm not even talking about what the ticket prices are. I'm just talking about spending the night. Craziness. And the city will be packed. Absolutely packed. So, you are 2,167 feet above sea level. We buy our palm trees from Southern California and Mexico. Current cost $2,500 to $10,000 each. Look to your right, there's the Raider Stadium. So if you park at the stadium, the least amount you can pay is $250. It's $20 to $50 here and you pay $3. Not too much. Now, the strip, don't look at your phone. Don't look at your phones real quick. What city are you in? You are not in Las Vegas. The lady said it. You are in Paradise, Nevada. It is a town. Las Vegas basically makes a circle around the strip in the airport. It's the easiest way for me to explain it. So, Los Angeles, California is 281 miles from where we are going ahead on the left, the Las Vegas side, at 2 o'clock. If you want to go to LA, the cheapest way to go is $22. One way per person. It's called the Flix, F-L-I-X bus from downtown Vegas to downtown LA. 5-hour bus ride, $22 every hour. So this is the old road. The reason I'm talking about that, this is the old road to California. Now, tomorrow's Sunday, right? Did anyone drive from Southern California? So, I'll give you some advice. If you ever drive from LA to Vegas on a weekend and you're then driving back Sunday afternoon, you need to plan ahead. You need bottles of water, crossing the Mojave Desert even in the winter, and that 35 miles straight ahead to California state line will take you anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Arizona is 25 miles to your left. Gives you an idea where you are in the state. So, in 1959, a resident of Vegas by the name of Betty Willis was commissioned to design a sign. It is the most photographed copied sign in the world, and it's taken us forever to get there. By the way, if you've been on the Strip at all, there's a lot of road construction. Let me tell you why. We have been in negotiations. Vegas has been in negotiations with Formula One racing. We're going to have a Formula One race in the next couple of years is what we have been promised. So that's why they're fixing the Strip. So in a couple of lights, we're going to make a U-turn. Carlos is going to slow down so you get your photograph of Betty Willis' sign. She put a star on the top of the sign. It always flashes. And there's a reason that she put the star. It wasn't for entertainment in 1959. It was basically just the Rat Pack and Loudon and a few comedians. It was the atomic age. So 200 miles behind us, from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, the United States government detonated 150 atomic bombs. People used to come to Vegas and then come out of the casinos at noon and put sunglasses on. Yuri. Carlos is wasting no time. Way to go, buddy. So the sign's coming up on the left. You might want to get a picture of the back of it first. Then we'll make the U-turn. By the way, you see this Harley Davidson dealership? If you happen to go to get a ground level picture of the sign, or we can't let you hop off. Go to that Harley dealership, show them your paper ticket for Big Bus, and they'll give you a souvenir poker chip. I'm saying Harley Davidson, Las Vegas. And if you have a motorcycle license, you can rent a Harley from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. They cut it off, 4 hours for $100. So again, we're going to make a loop around, and then I'll explain the rest of the sign. But we just changed the name of the airport. Did you know that? It's no longer McCarran. It's Harry Reid International Airport. Both McCarran and Reid were United States Senators for the state of Nevada. But Mr. McCarran, we have recently discovered about a year and a half ago, had mob ties. So we had to change the name of the airport. And I said, give me a break. There's a couple of private jets. Nothing like we had private Gulfstreams and other jets, Falcons, Freedom jets, they were double parked going over Wave. You wouldn't believe the amount of private jets. So we have 4 airports in the valley, and the FAA tells you how tall you can be to your proximity to the airport. That's why the Strat Tower will always be the tallest. So you might want to take a picture of the sign. They say they're going to keep it. I don't think they will. Not that long. The original sign here to your left for McCarroll. So you got your cameras ready. Oh, by the way, most people in Vegas don't gamble. When you visit, maybe a little bit. But most of you shop. So there's a South Outlets 2 miles down to your right, down Las Vegas Boulevard. So we'll make the U-turn and Carlos will slow down a bit so you can get the picture of the sign. I ask you to stay seated. If you do stand when we get close to the sign, I have to say you do at your own risk, but I'll be looking at the sign too, so I'm not going to say it. Of course. So you can see there's a big casino straight ahead. It's called the airport. Runway's on the right, and the famous sign coming up on your left, and another look of the Raider Stadium in the distance ahead to the left. So in the 50s, all the slot machines were coins. Penny, nickel, dime, quarter, 50 cents, and silver dollars. And that's why the word welcome is letters in the silver dollar. Fabulous is Betty Willis's handwriting. The sign's wrong. You're in Paradise, Nevada. The Silver States take capital Carson City. And yes, Joe. So guess what? We got a red light. Feel free to stand up. When that light turns green, might see. Yeah. We have someone that wants to go downstairs. Yes, go ahead. Anybody else want to go downstairs? They're coming down, Carlos. Winter in Vegas. You're lucky you weren't on the bus last month. Oh man, was it cold. Snowed on us up here. So notice the ridges on the welcome point. Yesco owns 80% of the signs zone in Salt Lake City, Utah. You'll hear me talk about Salt Lake a lot. So there's a dirt lot coming up on the right, 5 acres. The plan for them to complete the Dream Hotel is 5 years. $500 million on the right. Big trouble. The Hall of Fame speaks for itself. And then, look ahead to the right with the red beacons. That big building is the largest airplane hangar in the world with one casino in They have a fleet of high-tech blue stripes. The oldest wedding chapel on the Strip. Little church to the west where Elvis Hurd and Margaret W. Eagle, Las Vegas, completed the leave for airport. All 50, 60 style motels on the right. Big elephant never in the jungle cruise. And up to the left where it says Mandalay Bay, that's the Michael Jackson 30,000 square foot suite. Someone paid that 30,000, I can see lights are on. And if you look ahead to the right, see where that car is going to the right? See that red lettering and all those bright lights? There's a base cycle and a parking lot to your right. I have just pointed out the parking lot for Area 51. So when you work at Area 51, which is 59 miles from Fremont Street at 10 o'clock, you fly to work. There's Lucky 7, little Boeing 737s that are white with a red horizontal stripe. Each one is called Janet, just under NASA employee transport. More people coming down. By the way, when we get to Fremont, everyone's going to hop off the bus. And what I will tell you is that for those of you that want to be sitting downstairs, it's first come, first serve. And no one's allowed to stand, so it's limited seating downstairs. So there you go. Bright lights, that Luxor. It's only at 50% power. You can conserve energy. I've seen the pictures from the space station. So Vegas glows from outer space. But this is the only distinct light that you can see from the space station. The Luxor. pretty cool stuff. 39 xenon light bulbs, each costing $1,200, 7,000 watts. So the hardest part of the tour for me to give is going to be coming up. The night was October 1st, 2017. Your driver, Carlos, was letting people off at Excalibur. I had been on a different night tour. The trailer at Mandalay Bay took him a week to bring his ammunition and his guns up to the 32nd floor. If you look at the tower after the Mandalay Bay sign on your book, you'll notice 32nd floor is second story floor, because we don't have 113 floors. It's dark. That's where the ship was firing into the ground ahead of us to the next spot behind the green flag. Faster to make it down. The two towers to your right were to be another observation building, high roller. The two airplane fuel tanks to your right, the crazy guy tried to explode those. He did not have the right position. And the dirt lot after the festival grounds to your right, the dirt lot where we filmed the series finale. On your right, in the distance, Oyo is coming to your city. They are backed by the Bank of India. They want to be the largest hotel company in the world. And what's cool about that place off the strip, they have one dog license. So for a little bit of money, you can have a good time. Tropicana, as I mentioned, is the second oldest hotel casino on the strip, and Valley's just bought it. So you're going to have the Statue of Liberty picture coming up on the left, and on the in front of MGM Grand is Leo. Leo is 50 tons of Polo bronze. He gets a bath every 2 years of polishing, and he's the second largest bronze sculpture in the world after the 80-ton Buddha in Calvin Harbor. So, now, I have a question. In the back of the bus, can you see MGM Grand? Way back, you can see it? Tell me what color that building is. Right? You think it's green. Money. Wrong. Remember the movie that MGM gave us? Wizard of Oz. That is why that building is emerald green at night. But there is a green building, emerald green, behind the Statue of Liberty in front of New York, New York. That's the color that MGM Grand used to be when it opened up. But through years of being in the sun, it's turning sort of a bluish teal. So they spent $4,000 per light pole. They have over 100 of them. So even, I love showing you the fake things in Vegas, even the building's color is fake. But that's why it's emerald green. There literally used to be a yellow brick road inside, but people weren't hopping off to gamble. So they have carpeted over it, and they moved the main entrance from the front to the back of the property because it was an open mouth fiberglass lion, considered bad luck, bad feng shui for many cultures. Got it? Pretty cool. Are any of you baseball fans? The Oakland A's are interested in the land on your right. In the city of Oakland, even though Bally's has bought it, they're interested in the Tropicana property for their baseball stadium. We'll see. I doubt that they will live here. I think that they're going to stay in Oakland, but that's the plan. Pretty nice. So I was looking at the MGM signage, and huge, massive sign. And Bruno Mars was just on that. I'm going to show you where Bruno stays. So all the names of the people that perform at the Dolby Live Park Theater: Cher, Bruno Mars, Ricky Martin, Stevie Wonder, Queen with Adam Lambert, Aerosmith, Lady Gaga, Pink, Janet Jackson, the Jonas Brothers. They perform 2 lights to your left, Dolby Live Park Theater. But I'll show you where they stay. So in the next block, coming up on the right, is M&M World and the Coca-Cola store with the largest bottle of Coca-Cola in the world. Behind that strip mall is the mansion. There's only going to be a little bit in two lights you'll see as we go straight. A little bit of the Spanish-style roofs of the mansion. It is a Tuscany villa. It has its own casino, its own restaurant, and it is known around the world as MGM's most beautiful and most expensive property. The rooms, a single room, starts at $2,400. And the rooms go to $30,000 a night. When Janet Jackson is performing here, her family takes over the entire compound, all 140 rooms. So you're going to see just a little bit of the Tuscany Villa, the mansion. So if you're staying in this area, or you're visiting to get your birthday picture in Hershey Chocolate World coming up on the left, or you're going to M&M World or the Coca-Cola store or Denny's or the Hard Rock, walk the short block behind the strip mall and get a picture of the mansion. Most people that live in Vegas don't even know that the MGM has that property just off the strip. Happy Saturday night. I won't get into sports, but anybody going to be watching the Super Bowl tomorrow?
Yes.
Cool. Did you see all those prop bets? Like if the coin toss is heads or tails and all that? Pretty wild. There's tens of hundreds of pages on the prop bets. So we got a little bit of traffic jam here, don't we? Sort of self-explanatory. This is one of the busiest intersections in the United States, along with Flamingo coming up. So just enjoy the sights and the sounds of the strip.